Hello again, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Bayer or Alex, whichever you prefer. And, let's go talk to Lord Drillmon about getting back into the Stone Vigil, or what's up with the Stone Vigil. Spoiler alert, it's gonna be a dungeon, so... a hard mode dungeon. Oh god. Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually think COERTHAS is one of the few areas that I don't really get tired of. Camp Dragonhead, I don't really... like the organ music I get tired of, but like the general zone, I really like it. As depraved a foe as the Dravanians are, they have a certain cunning. The place teems with unbelievers who gladly embrace death merely to deny us a form of advance. We came to slay dogs and are bled by nits. There are graver matters still. After our first wave stormed the keep, the enemy sealed the breach behind them. The Vigil headgate is now a welter of molten iron and stones sharp as a headsman's axe. We can no longer send reinforcements by land. The danger is great, but we must go by air. I shall lead the second wave, and would have you join your strength to ours. Sir THANALAN awaits you near the Stone Vigil itself. I shall join you as soon as I have seen to the airships. So we're going to get airdropped into a dragon-infested castle. Apparently has the, heretics or whatever, the guys who allied themselves with the dragons. Alright, so that's another dungeon unlocked. Let's go ahead and queue up for ones that we haven't done yet. Let's see. Yep. Okay. And then we could go over to NALD and start looking for the gay bulk, but let's first go over to Ugamaro Mines, because we can advance the Legacy of Allig quest, and it's going to have us go back to NALD anyway. Because we're going to need to get a wind-inspected crystal from the Ixal. So we've already got a water one from the Sahagin, and we're gonna get an earth one from the kobolds here. This section right here reminds me 100% of the Dangroof Wadi, or Wadi, Dangroof Wadi, Dangroof Wadi. I don't know. An area with geysers and steam vents in Final Fantasy XI. This also used to be a Fate. Guess they... I don't know when they did the quality of life change. He's so much tinier than when he was a Fate. I guess the Sahagin was a little bit smaller too. But, yeah, whatever. Now, as you know, at the end of the 2.0 main storyline quest, there was that, you know, dragon or draconic roar sort of thing that happened, and they said it's, you know, it's got to be some primal somewhere. And that actually pertains to the Binding Coil of Bahamut, which is the level 50 first raid they did. It's got 3 tiers, and I do plan to go through those on Clyde, but what I'm going to have to do, because Clyde's not strong enough to do it on his own, and because most people don't go through it, you know, synced, right? So I'm not going to really be able to properly show off the battles, and I really wouldn't be able to anyway with the increase in gear level and potency. I'm just going to, whenever I get around to unlocking that, I'm going to put up a party finder for it and see if some kindly, you know, level 70 plus person will help me, you know, just obliterate it and let me watch, you know, through the cutscenes. That way I can show off all the story bits with some of the other NPCs that are related to that raid, as well as to the 1.0 storyline and to, you know, like it. That raid pretty much its storyline, it sort of bridges the gap and ties off the 1.0 plot thread with Bahamut and Louis Soir. So, and I like to have that done before Heaven's Word, just because, you know, I like each of the plateaus to feel like they were finished. So. Alright, Stone Vigil hard mode. I was just watching Tiny Blue Games video on this. He had some fun with it. I have a hard time remembering which patch Stone Vigil came out in. Stone Vigil Hard. And once again, we're synced to item level 110. I think there's only 6 dungeons in 2.0 where you are completely unsynced. And it's like Sestasha hard mode, I think Snowcloak, Wonder Palace hard mode, Amdapor Keep hard mode, and Keeper of the Lake. I think that's it. But then, any of the raids, like any of the 24-mans, any of the Binding Coil raids, any of the trials, yeah, all the trials, you won't, you know, like if you go in at level 50 things, then the limit to your item level is like actually 135 or 136 or something weird like that, to reflect on the final coil weaponry. So kind of looks like the first boss from original Stone Vigil, but he's a zombie. He's a zombie now. Zombie dragon. Or dragon brawl? There's some sort of a distinction between reptilians with lesser minds that the dragons like take over. The only real mechanics for this boss is he runs to the corners of his own volition, and he'll do swinge, and then his ads that spawn are pooks, and when they're killed they roar or whatever, and it looks like a damage telegraph, but it's actually a buffing telegraph for the boss, and they'll buff his attack speed and his attack damage. Really, it's inconsequential if he gets buffed. It's barely noticeable. But it is something to consider. Yeah. Yeah, it was cold this morning, so I had the heat on. I think so. Sarah bought me like 3 bottles, and then her dad bought a bottle to try it, and then he didn't like it, so he was like, here, take the rest of this bottle home with you. And I was like, oh, okay. My brother's up here sort of hanging out with me. He came to see my mom. She's, you know, I've already said it before, but you know, kind of doing bad. I should get a mic with a wider range. Basically doing this as an excuse to replay through the whole story again. Yep. This is a dungeon where basically we're helping the elves retake a fortress from the dragons. They've been at war with them for 1,000 years. They can't finish it till I get to the first expansion content. It's like a turtle dragon. It's like a Tarask. Heard of the Tarask from Dungeons and Dragons? I mean, it's not quite as big as an actual Tarask, but like they have a big boss fight where they call it a Tarask. You have to use cannons on it because it's too fortified. I've heard that it's so fortified that you can't even come in here. Like, you can go into dungeons unsynced, and at max level, like, you can come in here and everything will die in one hit. You get to this guy, and it's like, supposedly you still have to use the cannons on him. It takes like 20 minutes to kill him by yourself. Also, if the NPC knights that are fighting him die, he just does like a huge stomp because they're like holding him back or whatever. It's not really shown that well, but they're holding him back and maybe. I know I saw Donkey's review of it. Yeah. It's the first 6 hours of gameplay padded out to 30 to 40 hours. I definitely haven't seen that one. Yep, everybody's doing it. told me that on the phone. Hey, your Jimmy sounded rustled on the phone. They're just getting in on the whole Patreon thing, like, because that's what a lot of content creators do now. They just, you know, they put everything behind a, like, they're still gonna release their stuff for free for everyone eventually, but you know, like if you start giving them money, you get to see it just as soon as they're done, like as soon as they post it or whatever. It's like the easiest way to come up with a Patreon reward that you don't have to put that much work into, right? Because like, it's just like, oh, if you were giving me $1 a month, you could, you know, get this a week early. And it's like, if you gave me $5 a month, you get it 2 weeks early. Probably, I mean, you're vaguely reptilian. Nope. You just gotta be able to dodge. He just moves around and like does random stuff. He's like the first example of a boss where you watch what he's doing with his body rather than looking for like a bright orange, you know, don't stand in this or you'll die sort of thing. Oh, now there are two of them. Should not have made this bargain. No idea actually. I've got 12-hour shifts tonight, tomorrow, and then I'm off for 4 days, but then I have and then I have 12-hour shifts again next weekend. So. But the management's having to work 12-hour shifts as well, so I can't complain too much because, like, the assistant manager, she's working all the night shifts now. But whenever I'm off, so. Easy peasy. Oh hey, we had a racially diverse party. We had a human, a dragon chick, a cat chick, and I guess a dragon dude. I am the human. I'm a basic bitch. But I don't have any eyebrows because I'm the burly human, and for some reason the burly human race doesn't have eyebrows. Highlander. So you really concerned you're a carrier? Have you been like out and about? Well. They don't have any masks for us at work, just gloves, lots of hand sanitizer, and they recently got us a shield, yeah, but everyone's like ignoring it, like, because like it only covers half the front desk. And at first they had it between the computers, so standing at the front desk computer where I do all my work, no guard. So they had to, like, the maintenance guy came in and balanced it for them because management just they wouldn't let me touch it, and they didn't want to try to balance it on like one section in front of at least one computer. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I'm not really concerned because most people who come into the hotel are either already wearing masks or at least adhering to the 6 feet thing. Yeah. I just hope whenever they get the stents out of her liver that her liver improves. Yep. You'll be positive, right? A positive? Oh. Okay, I'm B positive. Yeah, I didn't know till I gave blood for like the second time or whatever. I was secretly hoping I was like O negative or whatever, but nah. Look, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how any of that works. Yeah, this headset. No. She's doing okay. She's kind of upset right now with her dad because his like brother or whatever is coming to try to see her grandma, and they don't get along. So like, her dad's all been out of shape. She's bleached her hair blonde because she's gonna, like, even, you know, more blonde, and she's gonna bleach it again on the 16th, and then dye the ends of it pink or something. She told me about it, and she's like, I hope that's okay, and I was just like, yeah, sure, go ahead, dye it rainbow for all I care. What's a pixie cut? Oh, okay. No, she's not gonna look good with that. I told her about the time you dyed your hair black. I asked her what she's gonna do if the pink like turns out bad or like if she doesn't like it. She's like, well, I'll just bleach it out. And I was just like, why not just like dye over it? I don't know, with like something else like purple or red. She's like, now there's an idea. Yeah, they pretty much, like, even though we're in a pandemic and the weekend barely even matters, like, you know, it's basically management's taking it for themselves. I mean, one of them works during, the new manager is doing 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. during the day, but, this is the Ixali camp. They're like birdmen. They're obsessed with being able to fly because none of them can, but they have feathers. They're beastmen, so they're like they're kind of bad guys. Like they're primitive and they like attack civilized settlements and stuff. They summon Garuda, the wind elemental avatar. They call him primals in this game, and she's like one of the stronger ones because they're so crazy zealous about it. Oh yeah, that's just Fates are overworld like little combat quest things, and just by walking into one you join in it, but you don't get any credit unless you actually like start hitting stuff. And when the timer runs out, the fate fails. So like for everyone that's in it. So because I walked through it, you know, it's notifying me that, oh, the fate's over, you know, and it was a failure. Even though I didn't, you know, even actually participate in it at all. The Let's Play is kind of awkward because I've reached the 50 plateau, and it's like, I want to show off as much of the main story as possible, and some of the side stories, like, they connect into the main story, so I gotta, like, do all these side, what are considered side dungeons and stuff, or at least I want to, anyway. So the point of the Let's Play is, like, for anyone, like, the only people who really watch it is, like, Weston and my friend Colby. I've had other people like viewing it, but no one makes comments, so it's like I don't know for sure. And then like according to my YouTube analytics, nobody that's, you know, like not Weston or Colby watches more than like 5 minutes, because it's literally just gameplay and me, you know, gabbing. I did a couple recordings while I was drunk, going through the last few quests of the main storyline for 2.0. And my least favorite NPC popped up. It's this little midget chick who's like the Sultan of the desert city. And she's basically an ineffectual 20-year-old ruler. And her flame general that she saved from like the gladiatorial arena, he's like way more of a leader and stuff. And he's the one who's been showcased throughout all the quests up till then. And she just like pops out of nowhere and it's like, this is what we should do. Blah 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 blah. I was a little, you know, toasted And I was just like skipped her dialogue and yelled, "Fuck you!" Hmm. My least favorite thing about her is that she gets assassinated and it gets blamed on the main character, and that's what leads into the first expansion. And she's supposed to have died, and I was perfectly fine with her dying. I was like, yes, finally. And then it's a fake out. And it's annoying. Yep, he was like, oh boy, you sure did help us take that peak back. Thanks, man. Well, they haven't put any sort of like actual tanks in, but you do get Magitech armor. There's a quest you can do to let it shoot a fireball or whatever. Yeah. But what's even lamer about it is it doesn't actually, it's just cosmetic. It doesn't actually, you can't actually blow up monsters on the overworld with it. Yeah, they pull from the art designs now that they can actually show them off. Although a fun fact about 6 is that for the characters, they actually asked the artists to draw the concept art for them based on the sprites that they'd already made. So Terra's not actually originally blonde, she's actually originally green-haired, and hardcore fans have been wrong all these years. Also, for some reason, people think General Leo is black. And it's like, well, no, his sprite is white. And he has blonde hair. And he has, like, a German physique, and so. Oh, now that we got the crystals, can't just have the crystals. We got to turn them into sand. Something like that. Black belt, stop her with your violence. Black belt?
What does that mean? I don't know. Want to start working on the T? Yeah.
I like when they fight Kraken, and it's like a Cthulhu reference, and it eats Red Mage or whatever, and he's like, oh my god! It's pushing my own skeleton through my... And then like, later on he's like, oh, I didn't write down the damage, so I didn't take it, or whatever, so like... Ooh, Sunken Temple of Karn hard mode. We're gonna get a second dungeon into this video after all. It's about time. It's supposed to be the difficulty, but basically it might as well just be parentheses level 50. Like, it's not really that hard. Yeah, it's pretty great. I love Letterkenny. Me and Sarah watched a few episodes of it, she's not really too into it. He had sex with an ostrich, allegedly. Dragoon go down the hole. Me and Sarah tried, and I fell asleep. Yeah, it... Yeah, I don't know, just like the lead into the first episode or whatever, just like, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, I see enough crazy people like this around Calhoun to, not quite this crazy, but just like, Yeah, I might try watching it again sometime, but not anytime soon, because I don't know. I thought all the memes that came out of it were hilarious, like, especially the ones about him like apparently tricking straight dudes into having sex or whatever. Like, you're straight, but you're not that straight or whatever. It's funny. I like this tank. He's using sprint. One of my friends was saying that she thought that, yeah, Carol probably killed her husband, but she's like, I don't think she fed him to the tigers. What was that other one where it's like, one of my employees' arms has been ripped off by the tiger, so all y'all in the gift shop, y'all want like a free day pass or something, or? G.I. Joe Exotic. Do that here. Yeah, yeah. How about that part where the girl who raised herself on a desert planet learns to sail? Yeah, Mandalorian is all that's really giving me hope for. Yeah, I know it was just an automated email, but like my Disney Plus or whatever, you know, they like sent me an email that was like, any suggestions you could make to yada 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 yada. You know, at the end it said, don't reply to this email or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna reply to it anyway. And my reply was pretty much, don't fuck up Mandalorian Season 2, thanks. The one where he, where the nerd kid is imagining, you know, like what it would be like if he came back. It's like, guess who's back from the dead, assholes? Oh, Bo's got himself a lightsaber. No, he's got two. Red, blue, purple rain! And he cuts off an Ewok head. You know, this looks like a boss from Skyward Sword. Like the oil boss that like you fight. I think it's like the second Master Sword power-up dungeon or something. The other day I was, you know, like, I watch all the cutscenes for the recording, and you know, sometimes people wait for me to get through them, sometimes they don't. I was right on the cusp of entering the boss arena. I got out of the cutscene and the arena shut off, and it like pushed me backwards out of it, killed me instantly, and I was just like, well, that's new. Might be because we're up here talking, and it's like, yeah, something like that, I guess. Alright, bro. Yeah, I'm being turned into a mummy because he put the mummification stacks on me. I stunned the boss too early. When he does that, you can stun him and run away, and then it's like a timed evolution. Like, and I think Warrior can still do it. They had a bind originally called Home Gang. You know, it's like for the Norse, for like the one-on-one like challenge thing. And the warrior could bind that boss and keep it still. But we had a paladin, I can't do that, so. Yeah, bro. See you in a little bit. Yeah, sorry the commentary kind of fell off there. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking to my brother even though you couldn't hear him. 12-6, walk softly. Oh, she's perfectly fine, huh? I'm here to save your life. Nope, they got killed by the traps, you dumbass. I can't take Lalafell serious as characters most of the time. Let's see, journal. I guess let's go talk to Geralt again, because he's going to ask us to get something for him. But let's go by way of Gridania, so we can stop by a market board, because there's something I want to pick up. At least if I have the money for it, if there are any on the market board for sale. I don't know how often people still do the Realm Reborn quests, so I don't know how often people still craft the requisite crafted weapon that you need. Because he's going to tell us, like spoiler alert, he's going to tell us that we need a strong weapon for him to rework the old spear that we're going to bring him around. So, them's the breaks. I think I got about 10 minutes left on the recording, so we should have time to do this. But yeah, the reason I didn't stop the recording is one, you know, I was already like in a dungeon or whatever when my brother Matt came in. But you know, I'm not like a professional or anything, and I mean, I don't take my recordings all that seriously. There are better content creators out there, honestly, who do a much better job than I do. And you know, not to put down my own stuff, my own commentary. I just don't think most people really care about it. Yikes. 60,000, huh? Well, they're already pre-melted though, so I guess I wasted my money on stuff. I could have sworn he asked for a high quality one though. So I'm gonna pick this one up and meld it. They might have changed it to be any quality, just